And welcome to the Daily Templar Report with me, your guest presenter, Jim Dowson. How are yous all? I wish yous all well. God bless each and every one of yous, and a special blessing to our dear brother Gary Hardwick, who's in the valley of despair at the moment. But just a word of encouragement from the valley. We do climb to the mountaintop, and it's only when we've been in the valley that we appreciate the mountaintop. We can look over to the promised land. So it will get better, brother. Right, let's have a wee look who's in here today. Okay, let's go up here. Let me see now. Get these glasses sorted. They're not so great. Sean Smiley, God bless you from Pittsburgh. Ralph Rowley, how you doing? Antonio Rebello. Ewan Eggerstrom, how are you? Christopher Strid, God bless you. Philip Millen from Scotland. You had a big day over there yesterday with the Rangers winning the league. I've seen them all out in the streets. They were all over Belfast as well. Pity they're not that passionate about serious matters. Jonathan Boudin, God bless you. Jonathan, how you doing? We sent some stuff out. What were you saying, Jonathan Boudin, today? And something else. Something to Jonathan Boudin. Warhammers. 2 Warhammers and something else. Can't remember. Anyway, it's on his way to you. Robert Erickson, God bless you in Manitoba. Yeah, it's cold up there. Wes Stover, how you doing? God bless you. Andy McBride, God bless you, brother. Paul Telford, in I don't think it's sunny Liverpool now. Bartley Burker, good day to you, sir. Donald Pollock, God bless you. Nice to see you here. Peter Smith from Manchester, how you doing? Nice to see you. What's he saying here? Wait a minute. Today was a record day for legal minds for over 1,000 per day records. So, yep, there you go. Right, unbelievable. Terrible. I just want to take a wee note of that while I remember. Where did I put that? Yes. None deported. Right, I'm just taking a wee note of that, because if I don't, I'll forget. Some just came to my head there, a brother mentioned that. Jacob Lewis, how you doing? Donald Pollock, Stuart Duncan, God bless you. Malcolm Cook. Michelle Boudin, how are you, Mrs. Boudin? God bless you, nice to see you. Joseph Taylor. Yep, Nick's in the room, how you doing? Nick, maybe try and get you on tomorrow if you're okay. Brian Payton. The Scorpions there. How you doing, the Scorpion? Templar Guard, Bruce Samuelson. Donald Pollock. Troy Otto there in Florida. He's a lucky man. Sierra Era. Hello, how you doing? Falcher. And Anthony Perez. Nice to see you, brother. Who have we got? Mr. Johansson there. Henrik Johansson? Yeah, Henrik Johansson. I thought I'd seen him there. And Mike B, Freaking A, and Angela Wright. Liz Androchovich, nice to see you. Colette Whitney, a lovely Colette, God bless you, sister. And Miss Sherry B's there. I think that's us. We'll roll up. It's interesting. Let's have a wee bit of scripture before we start today. Now, what have I done with it? I've got that many markings in my Bible, I don't know where I am. Good gracious. Now that is a thing. I just marked it there. That's bizarre. Where has it went? That's crazy. Oh, hold on. Well, maybe I've got another. That is bizarre. How peculiar. I just wrote it for a corner. That's a great piece of scripture, that. And I've lost it. Don't know. That's very strange. Just bear with me. Because it was a very good one. I don't know where that is. Okay, don't know where that one is, but I'll find it for tomorrow, because I really liked it. It was very good indeed. No, that's not it either. I've lost it completely. Sorry. It was about a bear. Well, I'll tell you what it was about. It's in the Proverbs. It was about it's better to meet a female bear who's looking for her cubs than it is for a fool to meet his foolishness. That's what it was. But anyway, I can do another one here. It's Proverbs 28, verse 12. When righteous men do rejoice, there is great glory. But when the wicked rise, a man is hidden. Ain't that the truth? And we're in a time now where the wicked are rising. And it's not so good. And who knows where we're going to go. Now, again, I'm dressed fairly casually today because I was doing a lot of heavy lifting. I have great news. In fact, we'll get a link ready to the Donard Chapter House. After months and months and months of waiting, about 4 months, pushing 5, our double Gothic stone windows have arrived. Amen. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. The builder was at the stage of strangulation on me because I kept promising them these windows and they didn't arrive. They arrived today, and of course, we have our Priory is an old coaching house with a big archway. We used to go through the back and round into the stables, and of course it's all stone and everything, and the trolley truck with these tons and tons of stone wouldn't go down there. So we had to handball them off. So these delicate wee hands of mine are very sore and very rugged. We handballed them off, but they're in. Thank goodness, and they will be getting installed. But remember, things are really going at pace now. And remember, the minute the chapter house is finished, we start on the Magdalen Chapel. So really, really important. I said I wanted to be finished this by April. I think we'll be pushing it. But I really, really want it done by May. We cannot wait any longer because we have brothers whose remains need to go in here. And we're going to have a great celebration. No mournful stuff. Of course you shed tears at these. Okay, of course you do. But we're going to have a great time in installing our brothers, the big Axeman, and there's a couple other ones, into the Magdalen Chapel. And we're going to have a rare service, solemn, dignified, as you'd expect from the Templar Order. But then we are going to have a good, old-fashioned Scotch, Irish, English, Welsh, American hoolie. We're going to have a big feed, and we'll have the best of whiskey on the table. Some people might not partake, that's fine. But we'll give our comrades a send-off fit for a king or fit for a Templar. Make no mistake about it. So come on, folks, help us with this, because I know everybody's been going crypto crazy, but it won't build itself. It won't build itself. That's it. Oh, talking about that. Peter Smith says, and I'd done stonemason for 30 years, heavy job. Well, I've never done it. So you can imagine, I'm not used to lifting big heavy stones about, dear brother. I am absolutely, my back is wrecked, my hands are wrecked. It's no good. It's no good at all. It's not a job that if the Templars ever get fed up with me, I won't be becoming a stonemason. I can tell you that for nothing. No, at my time of life now, I'm not really into that working thing. I've done my work, and I'm quite happy to donate my time to the Templars. But what a job. God bless you, lifting them stones all them years. It's terrible. So just remember the Priory Order things there. We want to get it finished. We have brothers waiting to get in the chapel, and we can't get on to the chapel until the Priory's done. The Donard chapter house is done. Then we move on to the chapel. The chapel won't take a lot of work. It's just a matter of putting 2 windows in, a new roof, digging the floor up, putting insulation and damp proofing in the floor, and then putting the flags down, and we're going to put underfloor heating and so on and so forth. And we're going to use some of the heat being generated. What do you think of this for ingenuity? The crypto mine is generating hideous amounts of heat. You couldn't believe it. So rather than just let the heat go into the atmosphere, we're going to pipe the heat into the church, into the chapel, into the Magdalen Chapel. We're going to pipe some of the heat in there, and we're going to pipe some of the heat into the chapter house, top level and lower level. What do you think of that? That will be good. I mean, we won't recoup all our costs on that, but we'll certainly save ourselves a fortune on heating, because these are old stone, very old buildings. Some of them go back to the 1620s. The main house itself goes back to the 1860s, but half the house was built in the 1600s. So you can imagine, very cold, no insulation, and so using that heat wisely can do something to help the order as well. So it's wonderful. Now on the crypto thing, as I said to you before, don't miss out. As our brother put a link up there, they're still going like wildfire, the shares. And remember, there's nothing worse, and I think everybody feels really bad, because the last time Bitcoin and the crypto stuff went wild, we all sat back, me included, and said, I don't know about that, I don't trust it. Yeah, I was one of them. But if I had an organisation that I knew and trusted, and I knew who they were, and had a phone number for them and an address for them, I would have. But there was nobody about then, and there's nobody really about now. I see all these people online. I don't know who these people are. I don't know what their track record is, and I don't know their probity and how decent, honest and respectable. I have no idea. So no, but you know who we are, and you know what we're at, and we're doing very well. We'll be putting up another, another 100, well, we'll get 50 cards to go live very shortly, which is more or less 8 rigs, and then we'll be putting another 8 online within the month. So it makes us quite a substantial player in this market. We're going to have about, by the end of this month, 150 cards running, and probably get up to as high as 300 cards. It just takes time. You've got to increment this, but it's going full pelt. And what we'll do, maybe at the end of this month, we'll give you an account of what's been mined so far, and how many coins we can potentially mine. But when we're running at full capacity, we could quite easily over the next 3-year period mine 1,000 Ethereum coins, no problem at all. So, and today, what are they trading at, Techie Man, the Ethereums today?
$1,700.
They're 1,700 now. They're probably going to go up to about 2,500. We could quite easily get our hands on 100 of them. Maybe not 100. What am I talking about? We could probably get our hands on over the 3 years, pushing 700 or 800. We might hit 1,000. We don't know. That's a lot of money. That's a serious amount of money at this level right now. But if the whole thing explodes or whatever, who knows where we are? Because we can mine a lot of these with the stuff we've got. So we could be looking at pulling in about 1,000 of these, but we don't know. But at the end of the month, what we'll do is we'll try and get the techie guy to put something in non-techie language, which is reasonable for normal people and old people like me, and probably a lot of people watching me, that we can understand in English. Do you hear that, techie man? No jibber jabber. In English, in simplicity. The techie guys are great, but they speak a different language. I don't know if you know that. They speak a completely different language. But we found a thing the other day, actually. We found a thing that explains what mining Bitcoin is. I think he sent it to me. He sent it to me, brother.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, you did. We'll try and get that and show you, because it was so simple. I thought, wow, that's great. This explains what mining is. Yeah, it goes back. It was a couple of days ago he sent it to me. But that's the problem. People keep asking me, explain this. You couldn't explain it. If I lived to be 1,000, I couldn't explain it. Right, here's some. We'll put some on the screen here. Here's a good way of explaining what mining. This is Bitcoin in particular. Same principle. But see, we can mine Ethereum and get paid out in Bitcoin. You could do so many things with this. And if one coin goes down, you swap onto another one. But there's how easy it is to actually understand. We'll scroll down it, okay? So just bear with us a wee second. Let that techie man scroll this down, okay?
You can read that out if you want to.
I can't see it, bro.
Oh, I can now.
No, I can't. I can't see that. Just scroll down slowly, let the brethren read it. That's all right, isn't it?
So this is the thing you want to point out. The reward given. That's what we heard.
Yeah. Still can't see it.
That's it.
No, I can't see that at all, man. It's just a big blur. Even yet. I can't see that. I need that printed off. And so, the techie man can't understand why I can't read that, but I'm blind as a... I mean, listen, I wear these for a reason. But you see, so we make money, we're rewarded for mining regardless. So, it's a very good thing. And I hope that explains it a wee bit. We'll maybe try and put that up somewhere. And try and... yeah. It's very good. So, there you go. The link was up there. Please get your shares in, because there's nothing worse than missing out. So, there's a big bull run on now, but things... I mean, Bitcoin's sitting at 50 grand at the moment.
It's fluctuating around 51.
People are looking at Bitcoin this year getting up to as high as 200,000, and in the next couple of years getting up to as high as 1 million, but probably peaking out about 500,000-600,000 and dropping back to 250,000. This is what people like Max Kaiser and some of these are talking about right away. So that's where we are. It's really crazy. He's talking maybe Canadian dollars, yeah. So that's where we're looking at. Things that this market is crazy and volatile, but it's relatively okay, because you can go from one thing to another. So please do not miss out and get your shares. We'll put another link up in a wee minute so you can get on board. I don't want to see anybody missing out, because I want to see our people doing well and being secure. Okay, so that's where we are with that. As you know, we've had a horrible few days. Not as horrible as Gary's having, but with the news of her brother and his daughter Felicity being killed there in a car wreck. It's tragic. It's horrific. And if anybody's near our brother or speaks to our brother, please keep in contact and keep an eye on him and give him as much support as you possibly can. He'll probably want a wee bit of peace and quiet, so I don't think he'll be on the forums as much. But if anybody knows him personally, please Just let them know you're there. I've told them we're here. What does he want done? We'll do it. And that's how we look after each other, because we are a family. And that's the difference between us and talking heads that are on YouTube and all that, all spouting utter gibberish. We're real. We're bricks and mortar. We're real people. We have headquarters all over the planet. People who are in this room have been in some of them. They've been to night ceremonies, and it's not in somebody's garage or out down by the lakeside in Minnesota. It's real. We're 15th century churches. We have senior clergy there. We are real people. We're in and out of parliament buildings all over the world. We're real. So people might think, well, you're up at this level. Why are you bothering with YouTube for? Because we're real. Because of you. Because of normal, decent people like you. We have never encouraged patronage from the mega rich and the mega famous, because they then want you to dance to their tune. We dance to Jesus Christ's tune, nobody else's. So we've always encouraged patronage by normal people, by normal Joes, by working people. Never by the elites of this world, because that's a dangerous folly to get involved in. So yeah, we do operate at very high levels, and we operate internationally at very high levels. But we can do that because our base of knights, dames, supporters and donors are normal, sane, working Joes who understand people's tragedies, who understand people's lives, the difficulties we face. And that's the secret of our strength. People say, these Templars, they seem indestructible. In recent times, people have tried to destroy us. And I mean serious people, serious big people, government level. And it's not really dented us. It's knocked us off course for a couple of years or whatnot, but no. And they can't understand it. It's because if we had the great and the good all on board and visible, they would run a mile when you come under pressure. Normal Joes, what do we care? What do we care? What are you going to do to us? What are you going to do? Are you going to end our film career? Are you going to end our banking career? I don't think so. So this is why our strength is always in the normal people. And you're normal people, but that doesn't mean to say you're not extraordinary people in many ways, because you are. And I am very proud, over the moon, overjoyed being involved with this organisation, because I'm involved with people like you. And I really mean that. I don't want you ever to forget it. So thank you for being with the group. Let me see there. Yeah, God, yeah, somebody's telling us there about Gary. This is the thing. Everybody thinks they're tough and strong and they can do everything on their own until tragedy strikes. Then you see the true value of being in a brotherhood like this, and a sisterhood, I suppose. When you're in the order, we look after one another, and he knows that there's people who love him, who care for him, and who are praying for him. And, that's priceless, my friend. You can't buy that. There's multi-billionaires who haven't got a friend in the world. But when you join this order, and you wear our beret, and you wear our neck thing, or you have our imprimatur on a certificate, you're part of us. You're one of the family. Don't forget that. It's very important. God bless you for that, Scorpion. Yeah, you're a wise... the Scorpion there is a very wise... He is a very wise man. I spoke to the Scorpion. He's a very thoughtful man. He's a very decent man. And I think there's nobody finer to help somebody through a hard patch in their life than the Scorpion. He's a very, very, very wise and decent gentleman who's had tragedy in his own life and hardships. So when you get a bit older, we all... Edward Tolbert, any word in the convention in the USA? Yes, we keep telling people. We need to put an email out, because people keep asking us this. No problem, Edward. Yes, June. Nobody can get out of Britain until, they reckon, April or May. We can't get out, or we can't get back in. And most of America... Well, right now, I cannot come to America. I'm supposed to be in America when? Next week? This week. I'm supposed to be in America this Thursday or Wednesday. 2 days' time I'm supposed to be in America, going to Iowa. I can't go there. Not Iowa, Missouri. Because your country won't let me in. Well, they'll let me in, but they put me immediately in 7 days isolation at my own expense. So nobody can go to America. So we're presuming that America will have stopped doing this by... April. Now, we're going to have it in Texas, and Texas doesn't have a lockdown, but airports are under federal authority. They're not under local authority, they're under federal. So I'm pretty sure we get a lockdown there. So it'll be about June, okay, Edward, and we look forward to seeing you there. But June, we'll all be together, and we're going to try and do 2 this year. We're going to try and do June, and we're going to try and do September. September, we're going to go for a knighting ceremony. We're just working on that, so bear with us, okay? But we will be there. Don't worry about that. I am demented not being in America. For a couple of... Well, this will be coming up 2 years, but we'll be there. I love coming to America. I love seeing the brethren. I love the conferences. They're the best. Well, better watch what I'm saying. In my opinion, they're the best ones we have in the world because the Americans are my blood. Yeah, the Polish ones are fantastic. Yes, the Hungarian ones are very good indeed. The Serbian ones are wonderful. The Bulgarian ones are wonderful. Everything's wonderful. But I am a Scotch-Irish, and many people who attend our conferences are Scotch-Irish or just Irish. So I'm very at home with my brethren. And so I like it, and I really miss it. So we'll be there. Make no mistake, I will move mountains. Used to when they locked down last March, we drove from England. We drove to Wales. We got a special ferry over to Ireland, and we drove up through the night to try and get on a different flight to get to America. And we thought we'd done it. And just as we drove into my house to grab a bag, after travelling all day and night, we got a text from the American authorities saying, "No, you're not coming. We've banned everybody from Britain." And it was that close. We were actually parking the car in my driveway, and I thought, oh! So we can do nothing. If we're banned because of the COVID scamdemic. But we'll see. Let's get on with that. Now, I'd something to bring you. Now, we see a lot of this carry on about the brutality of the police in different countries. We see now in Myanmar the police and the army shooting hundreds of people. We've seen the Chinese government cracking down. As some people would say, we've seen the American cops in LA, being rough with people and all the rest of it. No need to worry about that in Britain, my friend. Oh, we could never be accused. We could never be accused of police brutality unless you're a right-wing patriot and you're in the cells and there's no cameras. Oh, then they can be brutal, because I've been at the receiving end of it, as a couple of these teeth could testify. But this is recent in England, of a vicious police gang jumping on an unsuspected member of the public. Have a look at this. No. Ooh, that would strike terror into Antifa, or terror into the hearts of the Black Lives Matter militants. A silly, overweight policewoman plod trying to grab somebody for, I don't know, not wearing a mask or doing something he shouldn't be doing. He just said go away and ran off. Now, the thing is, you give her a gun. She's the type of person that'll pull that gun and shoot that guy down because she feels humiliated and embarrassed, and so she should. Shouldn't be in the police. There was a time when I was about, my brother-in-law joined the police, and they weren't going to let him in because he wasn't 6'2". Yeah. He had to, in Glasgow, the police had to be big, strapping men to deal with hooligans and violent people. Big fighting men that could handle themselves, ex-paratroopers, ex-marines. You gave them any cheek, bosh, they sorted you out. But, I mean, what's that woman going to do in a big gang fight or a big political fight or 5 men in a bar brawl? What's she going to do? Have you ever seen anything like it? And what happened to the fitness test? Remember the basic fitness test, How could she pass a fitness test? I mean, see, I'm not being disrespectful to the woman, don't get me wrong. But how could that woman pass a fitness test? It's unbelievable. Yeah. And, in the fire brigade in Britain now, we've got firewomen. And they dropped the fitness test because the test was you have to be able to... I'm 13 stone, just over it. And you had to be able to climb up 3 flights of ladders, grab a 12-stone unconscious man, so it was a big dummy weighing 12 stone, put it over your shoulder and get back out the window and climb down the ladders. That was fitness test. So you could save a man who's maybe overcome by fumes and get him out of a building and save his life and give somebody their daddy and their husband back. That's dropped now because the women who are joining the fire service, they can't lift a 12-stone man and carry him down ladders. Not a chance. So rather than say, well, you're not fit for the job, well, we'll just scrap the test. We'll just scrap the standards. So if I'm lying unconscious in my house, and that's it, I'm dead because if the fire people turn up and there's women on board, I'm going to be left because she cannot come up, grab me, manhandle me and carry me down the ladders. So Mr. D will be left to die. This is outrageous. This is shameful. This is disgraceful behaviour. And this is what happens when politically correct nonsense becomes law and becomes accepted. It is utterly ridiculous, and people will lose their lives over this. It's not just a stupid thing you can laugh at. People will lose their lives over this madness, and there we go. But how did she pass the physical test? Well, there is none. That's the problem. Now they're just scrapping this policewomen. They just scrap them and let them do what they want. Since I was in the armed forces, the basic fitness test is now half what it was in the 1980s. Half. This is for guys, because the guys now are so unfit because they're sitting all day in their house. They're not getting out. I was put out of the house like a dog, When my father left for work, I wasn't allowed back in again until he came back from work. That's what happened to kids in the 1970s. So we were running about, swinging from trees, climbing things, doing crazy stuff that I would have a nightmare. I'd have a meltdown if my own kids were doing it, climbing across factory roofs and doing all the mad stuff. But we were as fit as fleas and strong as bulls. So when we went down at the army, I'd done my basic fitness test. I'm not proud to say this, but I was out drinking booze. Out drinking booze till 4 o'clock in the morning. Absolutely gaga. Wasn't even sober. Had 2 hours sleep. Turned up at the army barracks and done my basic fitness test. Came in second last, but still done it. 1 or 2 guys failed it. Nowadays, with a fitness test even halved, half the people who take it fail it. That's how bad things have got, my friends. That's how bad. And these guys are going in to be soldiers to defend us. Oh, Lord, come quickly. Dear me, it's terrible. Right, I want to read, I just wanted to mention also today, people are trying to hijack it and call it International Women's Day. A load of nonsense. This is Commonwealth Day. Yes, Commonwealth Day, where we celebrate the union of nations under the British Commonwealth. Now, you might think, what's that? Well, I'll tell you what it is. There's 7 billion people in the world, but 2.5 billion of them are in the British Commonwealth. And if you take away the Chinese, there's only 5.5 billion people in the world, and 2.5 billion of them are in the British Commonwealth. So basically, apart from the Chinese, half the world's entire population, apart from China, are part of the British Commonwealth. Now that means most of these countries recognise the Queen as their Queen. They have trading links and all the rest of it. This is why on earth do we need the EU? We can trade freely with our Commonwealth, which is half the world's population outside China. And who does business? China don't buy nothing off anybody. They sell it to us, they don't buy. So this is Commonwealth Day, and it's a really important day. And the Commonwealth is really important. Now Canada's still in the Commonwealth, Australia, New Zealand, half of Africa, half of Asia, they're in the British Commonwealth, which means we have a bond together. So the old empire, of course. And it's really important. And we have no need for the EU with a 500 million people market. We have a market 5 times larger in the Commonwealth. People don't think about that. And I think it would do Ireland the world a good to get away from the EU. Now, you don't have to join the Commonwealth, but just side with the Brits for once. Because the EU's going to do nothing for you other than rob you of your own country and steal your freedom. So I keep telling my Irish friends, quicker you're away from that, the better. Because Britain's already said you would be welcome into, not the Commonwealth, but you'd be given access to your Commonwealth market. So that's a market of 2.5 billion. But the Irish politicians want to stay with a rotten EU with a market of 500 million. No, it doesn't make sense. Yep. Yeah, it's absolutely awful. And the other news is Prince Harry and Meghan have been on Oprah. Now, I was going to get some video footage and pictures. I don't even want to see these people's disgusting faces. I've got to be very careful because I'm on YouTube, but I am seething with anger against these people. You know, it's the old thing, you can do what you want in life, but you know, you can try and be somebody in life if you want to be somebody in life, but you cannot polish a turd. And Meghan, that woman, that American woman who married Prince Harry, is low grade, LA, La La Land. Well, you know what I'm saying. And Harry is as weak as water. He's talking about his mental health never now. Dear goodness. So, Queen Elizabeth, her gracious, most gracious Majesty, has cut him off. His money's gone, his titles are gone, even his military stuff's gone. And quite right. That's a hard thing for the Queen to do to one of her grandkids, but she's done it. And fair play to her. Because why? And he's moaning, he's on Oprah moaning that he get cut off the purse, that he wasn't getting any money. And the Queen told him, you get money for working. If you don't want to work, you want to flounce about with this American woman and do no royal engagements, there's no way we're paying you. There's no way the public purse could be expected to pay you. And this is a problem for him. He's on gurning and whinging and moaning on the Oprah show, oh, my money was cut off. I'm not surprised, son. If you don't go to work, you don't get your money. And even royals these days have to work for their money. Now, you might think they get paid too much, it's irrelevance, but you still have to work. You have to turn up and do your duties and do what you're told. And he wouldn't do it. So his money was cut off. Then his dad was bankrolling him. He didn't tell many folk that. His dad was personally bankrolling him. And and said to him, do not put your name to things. Don't launch clothing brands and that. You know, this isn't the Kardashians. I think this woman, what's her name again? Meghan Markle thought she was marrying into the Kardashians, and we started doing branding and all this stuff. And Charlie said, "Don't be doing that. You've got money, I'll give you money. Don't be doing that." They still went ahead and done it. He never, it was her. She did it. So Charlie says, "Right, you're on your own." And he's on his own. So, what do these people want? I mean, this is a disgrace. But look, you have this in every family, so it's unfair just to blame the royals. But at least, and I see this in a lot of families when the son or daughter turns bad, they say, "I don't care, I love them anyway, and I'll do anything they want." And they put up with it. No, you shouldn't put up with it. You should kick them out the door. And the Queen, effectively, has kicked Harry out the door. Not just kicked him out the door, kicked him right across the garden, onto the sidewalk, or the pavement as we call it, and maybe give him a kick in the ribs into the gutter. That's what the Queen's done with him, as much as she can. So thank you. But I can't stand those two. I can't stand them. They're a disgrace to this country. Well, he's a disgrace to this country. She's a disgrace to any country. And I'm just glad that they're now gone. They're living in La La Land, where they'll be very happy with all the other nutcases and lunatics that they'll meet there. So that's that. Now, what did I write there? Oh, why? Our brother mentioned earlier on about these immigrants coming in. Can I just tell you a wee thing that Mr. Griffin actually told me? Mr. Griffin told me this. Since Brexit, the Tories, the Conservative government in Britain, have not repatriated or threw out not one single one of these incomers. Not one. Since Brexit. And we were told, when we get power and we're away from the EU, we will control our own borders and we will get tough on them. Well, they're taking a while. They're taking a while because nobody's getting anything. Now, where's T-Belly Brewster saying there? Listen, do you know what I'm going to... Techie brother, do us a favour. Ban him. T-Belly, I'm banning you because see the two people you recommended come onto your site? I went and looked up their podcasts. Are you for real? Listen, take my advice. Up your meds, son. Up your meds. Get them off. Listen, I'm sorry to be so harsh, but I do not have the time for imbeciles, paedophile rings that honestly, people like that come onto this, you won't last, you'll be kicked off. This is not QAnon. It's not some tinfoil hat wearing lunatic station. This is real. This is the Templars. We're real people. And I can tell you're a nut, because who calls himself T-Belly Brewster? Get a grip of yourself. Absolute idiot. And that's why we want people to use their own names here. Then we can identify you as a human being, and you probably wouldn't say half the stupid, imbecilic stuff that you say. So you're getting banned, and that's all it's in it. I've not got the time for that kind of stuff. Dear me, honestly. You can always tell. Right, I want to read you a wee bit. Let's get back to get me some sanity. We're in a week where serious things are happening in our order with our members and whatnot. And you get some balloon coming on and talking out the side of his face. I don't have time for that. As they say in America, as your ghetto friends in America, I ain't got time for that. Is that how they do it, brother? So, you know what I mean? Who's got time for that? Who has got time for these people? I refuse. Right, let's have a wee look. Where did I get this? Right, I want to quote the Son of God, Jesus Christ. "I have come to bring fire on the earth, and how I wish it were already kindled." Luke 12, verse 49. Strange words indeed. Here is where meekness comes back in. Christ had the power and authority to come down off the cross and right some serious wrongs with blood and fire and billows of smoke. Oh yes. But his time of righteous judgment and supreme martial victory does not come until after he is resurrected. And then, again in Revelation, the fact remains that he could have done it right there and then, but he didn't. Instead, he suffered agonies for us, simply saying, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." Luke 23, verse 43. This is ultimate wisdom and love, while bearing ultimate suffering and injustice without a trace of bitterness. That, my friends, is true power and the definition of strength and love. If we as men are called to love our wives as Christ loved the church, we must look to the ideals of manhood, rejecting the ideals of a corrupt and sinful generation. Christ shows us how to be men, and it is high and lofty and the ultimately unattainable standard. It is perfection, and it is where we should aim. You can't hit the bullseye unless you pull the trigger. Sometimes we will miss. Training, meditation, and praying constantly will, however, reduce those misses. Our group tightens up. The edges of the paper stay clean, but the 10 rings are ragged and pouring out sunlight. You know what I'm talking about if you fire at targets. This is then how we 21st century Templars see the verse in Luke about bringing fire on earth. Let us look at the symbolism of fire. It brings about a transformation on the molecular level. Solids change into gases, and gases what actually burns. Fire refines and purifies, as a metalsmith burns off impurities of the amalgam, seeking the end product of pure gold. Christ calls us to preach to the nations, not to subdue them with violence or fire, if you will. This fire, as such, must be an inner fire, burning away all the impurities of resentment, judgment, and falsehoods implanted in our minds by the system that seeks our enslavement rather than our freedom. Before we can judge the world, we must change ourselves. Before we can play our part in the defeat of evil in the world, we first have to defeat evil in our own hearts. Powerful, challenging words indeed, but very good. So, that's from the first book, Dave's Vault, Reconquista of the West. Very powerful. We'll read some more of that tomorrow. And I think we're going to ask Mr. Griffin, he can come in tomorrow. Is Mr. Griffin available tomorrow? I think he's okay. I think we'll take it as read unless he says otherwise, and if not, then it'll be on Wednesday. But that's all from me. Again, please remember our dear brother Gary in your thoughts and prayers, and his wider family, and the children. They need our prayers as well. The whole family needs our prayers. And let us pray that through this horrible tragedy, some good and some righteousness may come out it, through people maybe seeking the Lord's guidance and being brought into the kingdom. This is how things pan out sometimes, so let us pray for that. Mr. Griffin will be here tomorrow, so that's all from me, and if the good Lord preserves me, I shall be here with Mr. Griffin as a guest tomorrow. And remember, until then, stick close to God. You won't go far wrong. Do us vault.